This friend actually, he wrote and asked about the Federalist number 10. I had said it is a document that shows how the founders of the U.S. Constitution feared the common people invading the rights of private property, and he said he had trouble finding that theme in it. Well, one thing to remember is that this is not just a philosophical document about good government that James Madison is writing in the Federalist number 10. He is writing a political document making an argument to persuade people to support the new Constitution. There's a lot of skepticism about the Constitution and what the real purpose of this new structure, this new national structure overseeing all the states was meant to achieve. So in this argument, it seems like Madison is primarily saying he's worried about factions, and he thinks a government over an extended territory will do a better job of suppressing the problems of factions than a small face-to-face democracy would. Well, this is not what he's arguing for, really. I mean, you got to look behind the scenes at the context. In the first place, he's arguing that you need a superseding national government to offset what's going on in the states, not small democracies, but the states who have themselves a system of representation. What was he worried about? The historical context is just before the Constitutional Convention, there's an uprising in Massachusetts where common people were trying to get out of onerous debts that were causing them to lose their little farms. There was a fear among the political and economic elite that this foretold that there would be constant efforts within the states for the common people to fight back against what they felt was oppressive policies on the part of the elites. The mistake I made when I did this originally on, say, episode 5 was that I had mistakenly remembered that it was the effort in the states to extend voting rights to people of less property that they were worried about. No, that came later after the Constitution. People in the states tried to get the states to lower the property requirements for being able to vote. But what was true is that the Federalist number 10 had in mind these efforts to abolish debts in the states. And I want to point out just a couple of quotations to back this up. First of all, Madison says early in his argument, "Those who have and those who are without property have ever formed distinct interests." So this is similar to the kind of things Aristotle said, that the biggest problem in democratic governments was that the people will get together and fight against the people who have more property. Same thing Madison's saying here. He's putting this in the context of this whole long classical tradition of the problems with democracies. Another quote is a little later in it, and it goes like this: "A rage for paper money, for an abolition of debts, and for an equal division of property, or for any other improper or wicked project," that's what they were trying to avoid, right? So the argument behind the argument and the context of this is that you want to suppress factions specifically where the majority tries to get together against the minority being the wealthy, the majority being those with less property. If you create a national government, it will be harder for a majority to form and act against the rights of property. Whereas in the states, because they're smaller, it would be easier. So that's my explanation of why I said what I said about Federalist number 10. It takes a reading with some sense of the context of the times, and that he's presenting one argument when really he's invoking a deeper argument at the same time.